Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Leadership Show today. My name is Remy Chukwunyene. I am the Executive Director of the Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa. And by the way, I am also the host of the Leadership Show. You are welcome to this important discussion that we have this afternoon. And we're going to talk about becoming who you are. Becoming who you are. And we have decided to bring to you a global HR leader and a citizen of the world to discuss this important topic. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you who this important personality is about. I'm talking about Gaye Khady, a global HR leader, DEI advocate, and authentic storyteller based in Chicago, USA. She is a woman on a mission to make a difference in people's lives, and that's why we brought her on the show today to share with us how we can become who we are truly meant to be in life. Her mantra is inclusion is the solution to exclusion, and she's committed in breaking the silence of invisible inequality and neutralize biases suffered by many people. She does this by empowering everyone to rise up and celebrate their culture and life journeys, as well as creating a safe space for them to share their stories and unshackling their limiting beliefs. Khady is from Senegal, but was born and raised in Ghent, Belgium, and got the opportunity to live and study in Heidelberg, Germany. With her degrees in translation and human resources management, her work experiences shifted from local to international HR and has held many different positions along the way. Currently based in Chicago, she prides herself as a citizen of the world, having traveled to Europe, the US, the Middle East, Africa, India, Israel, and so many more. According to her, I am passionate about people and I get my energy through connecting with others. As a natural relationship builder, I thrive by empowering people to be proud of who they are and help them turn their adversities into opportunities. Diversity and inclusion are in my DNA. In fact, I am a woman on a mission to make a difference in everyone's life. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see from the above, our guest is fully loaded to impart knowledge and share her experiences with us. So get ready with your pen and your paper to listen, to learn, and also share with us whatever experiences you also want to share with us this afternoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I want to welcome Khady Gaye to the show.
Thank you, Remy, for this warm introduction. Wow, you covered everything. I'm thrilled, excited, and pleased to be here. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to be part of this important conversation. So thank you for that.
Thank you, and welcome once again. Ladies and gentlemen, you are on the show from Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa, and today we are discussing becoming who you are. That might be very, very, I don't know how it sounds to you, but we want to really, she's here to let you know that you can become more than what you are at the moment, by some of the principles and concepts that she's going to share with us this afternoon. So I want you to be serious and get glued to the screen as we engage here in this fireside chat this afternoon. So madam, it's been really awesome having you, despite the time schedules and all of that. So it's interesting that you honored our invitation to be on the show this afternoon. Again, I have read the wonderful profile that you have. Wonderful profile. And I'm also fascinated when you said you are a global citizen. You are a citizen of the world. So, going by the profile and what I just read, is there anything that you would want to let us know that I didn't capture in that brief that I read out?
I mean, you covered everything, truly. What I would like to say to the audience is probably the way that you and I met virtually, because this is also important. So you reacted to a post from a friend of mine. Her name is Heidi Maduhu. And you texted me saying, "Oh, Madame, you must be a brilliant person." And I was asking myself, like, what is he talking about? What is he referring to? And I realized that my friend Heidi posted something about me, and that's how you and I connected. And since we have been interacting, we have taking the time to get to know each other, and it's probably part of this conversation today. Become who you are. You become who you are through people that you are surrounding yourself with. So this is probably a good way of introducing our topic of today. So I just wanted to mention that how you and I met virtually, and I can't wait till we are again able to travel to come and visit you in Nigeria.
Very interesting, very interesting. So just like you said, Heidi is one of us. She's a member of Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa's International Advisory Council. And since she joined us, she has been so amazing, connecting us with global opportunities. And we are happy that finally today you are here, and she was the reason for the connection. I really appreciate Heidi, your friend, for doing that for us. Very good. So back to the conversation. When you say becoming who you are, it's a bit confusing, to so many people. So we want to know, what exactly do you mean when you say becoming who you are?
Yeah, nowadays the world is change is a permanent factor in the world. So it's it can be very confusing for someone to kind of understand in which direction you want to go between situations where you are forced or prevented, or situations where you are excluded or discriminated. You need to ensure that you strengthen your muscles in order to know who you are. So, what I mean by that is that when you are born, you are surrounded by your parents, or maybe just family or friends. You go to school, or maybe you don't have the opportunity to go to school. So you get norms, rules that you have to live with. And at a certain stage in your life cycle, you start realizing that you are asking yourself millions of questions. Who are you? Why are you on earth? What is it that you can give? What is it that you can offer? What is your value? So, becoming who you are is something that is extremely important, is building the path on trying to find your path, understanding why you are on earth. And in my case, I did ask myself that question a couple of years ago when something rather traumatic happened to me. It triggered that question. I woke up in the morning asking myself, why am I on earth? What is it that I should do? What is my calling? And when you start doing that exercise in knowing who you are, things becomes much more clearer. You get signals from God or whoever you believe in, and you start cementing your own pact, and that's what I call your second act. So it's ensuring that knowing who you are will help you also to serve and support others. So in my case, I want to give back. I want to impact people, and I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. So I consider myself as a world changer. But then, in order to do that, I need to understand who I am. What are my strengths? What is my uniqueness? What are my values? And as a person, I think it's extremely important to not compromise on your values. If I take the example of the corporate world, um, a lot of norms, policies, and procedures. We always say, can you bring your authentic self at workplace? And my answer is yes. My answer is yes, as long as you know who you are and that you do not compromise on your values. So that's number one. It's having a vision. So it's combining your purpose, your passion, and if you combine those two, this becomes your life mission statement. And not everybody, understand me, don't understand me wrong, not everybody needs to have a life mission statement, and that's okay too. But if you have one, having that clarity, that vision, will help you get where you need to be. So that's important. So that's what I say: becoming who I am, who you need to be. So in my case, it's I have developed certain skills where I feel like I can be my authentic self wherever I go, and wherever and whoever I talk to. And this is the freedom that I have, and this is priceless. And this is not something that you learn at school. It's something that you discover. You do that inner work within yourself, that self discovery, that self reflection.
Okay, so you mean you don't learn all of these in the classrooms. You learn by personal and self discovery. That's how you discover who you actually are, and begin to actualize them. Thank you so much. Now let me ask you. So how can someone become who he or she is meant to be? You said that it is through self-discovery. So how can someone be guided to be able to discover him or herself in this way?
There are many ways that you can do it, and particularly today, I would say you need to ask for support. Don't be afraid to ask for help. In my case, as I said, when I went through this traumatic experience, I I reached out to someone, and I went through a personal development transformation coaching. And this has really helped me to understand who I am, and who I want to become, and where I want to go. So it's really important to seek for support. It's investing in yourself. Don't wait for people. Don't wait for people. You are the best person to know what you need and what you want and what you don't want.
Okay. Okay. So you mean someone can you don't need to wait for anybody to start the journey of discovering yourself. I think that's what you just said right now. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct. You don't
Okay.
have
So
to. You don't have to fear for failing. You don't have to fear for what people will think about you or how people will judge you. Just do it. You will learn along the way, and this journey of self discovery is really worth it.
okay. Okay, I just wanted to ask again. You don't just discover yourself just like that. Do you mean maybe going through reading some kind of books or doing some kind of mental exercises or what? What exactly? How do you do that?
I always say that you can combine your mind, your soul, and your body. So you have to listen to your inner voice. And inner voice is really have that active listening to what your body is telling you. You have inner voices in plural. Those are generally those voices in your head telling you that you can't do it. It's impossible. It will be difficult. And then you have that inner voice that will that is recurrent. You will hear it all the time. It was there all the time, but you were not listening to it. That inner voice telling you that you should go for it. You're worth it. You are good enough. So it's really having that combination of mind, soul, and body. Personally, I'm a Muslim, so I believe in God, and God is my navigator. Of course, he is guiding me in a certain direction, but I still have to do the work. So that's important. And when it comes to your health, and your body, I use this metaphor, or for if you were on a plane and you were listening to um, the safety instructions. What do they tell you? That you have to wear your oxygen mask first before being able to help anyone else. Well, in life or at work, it's exactly the same. You need to protect yourself first. You do have to ensure that you do self care before being able to help anyone else, regardless of what your objective or your mission is. So that's extremely important.
Okay. That's wonderful. You know, when you talked about the security instructions, you know, while you're on air, you know, it's very wonderful. You know, they say, do before you help anyone else, you have to save yourself first. That's wonderful. That's wonderful, and that can be selfish too.
It is, but it is important because generally, I mean, the human being, we have the tendency to help others and to forget about ourselves. Putting yourself first is not it's not being egocentric. It's a technique of self-esteem. Once you
Okay.
learn that, you feel more comfortable in what you're doing. That's extremely important.
Okay. So in this journey of discovering oneself. So, what challenges do people usually face? What challenges do people usually face when they are trying to discover themselves?
Yeah, as I said, it's the fear of failing. It's generally you put yourself into a position where you want to please people. And once you start really doing the deep dive, the inner work about yourself, you will start discovering that you should stop doing that. And it's also means that you should stop saying, you will have to start saying no to certain people, and you will have to start also saying yes to certain things. If I take my personal example, back in, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, I had a full year where I was just saying yes to everything. When was the first time you did something for the first time? Every single time I was asking myself, I need to get out of my comfort zone. And it might feel uncomfortable at the beginning, but it's worth it. I was able to remove that monkey off my shoulder, and this again, it's that feeling of having that freedom and autonomy to decide on things, to be on the driver's seat of my life. Is, yeah, I mean, this is this is just so vital and so important. So think about that, and maybe also think about removing the self-talk, because we are very as human being, we can be very fast in judging, starting with ourselves. Like, as I said earlier, I'm not good enough. That will not happen. I should have done things differently. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's a journey. So one step at a
Okay.
time. And every day you will learn something. I'm still here. I don't know if you are frozen. That's the challenge of the live stream. So I hope Remy will be able to realize that he's frozen. Or maybe I am frozen. I don't know. Okay, let's give it another minute. And I don't know if we have received in the meantime any comments. I don't see them. So, okay, now I see the comments. So, yeah, self discovery. Can someone put in the chat if you are still hearing me, or if I'm frozen too.
Okay, okay. So sorry about that. There was a little.
Remy?
Yes, yes. Go ahead. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay, can you hear
Okay,
me?
so thanks for Sumaya. Thank you for letting me know that you hear me. At least I feel less lonely. So while we are trying to bridge that technical gap, I'm just I'm maybe just gonna continue. Ah,
Go
okay,
ahead.
Remy is back.
Yes, yes. Go
I
ahead.
can't hear you. You're on mute.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead. Go
Remy,
ahead. Go ahead. Go
I can't
ahead.
hear you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are still on the show,
I
and
can't hear you.
oh, can you hear me now?
Okay,
Can you hear me?
so can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you.
Oh, okay. Let me see what the problem is.
Yes. Remy,
Yes, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
I was
correct.
I did bridge the technical gap, so no worries. That's the beauty of the live stream.
Okay, go ahead. So go ahead. Sorry about that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
I yeah, maybe go
finish
ahead.
up.
Next question.
Okay. Were you able to finish up with what you were saying before the break?
I think I was ready and people were still hearing me, so I think we're good.
Okay, okay. So let's take some comments on the comment section. This one is from Posmos. Posmos is saying Ugwumba cares. Okay, thank you, Posmos. This one is from Ebere. Self-discovery is the key. Self-discovery is the key. Thank you, Ebere Wokeji. This one is from Sumaya Kabiru. I am happy to be here. Enlightening session. Thank you, Sumaya. Okay, I can hear you. Okay, very good. Then this one is from Cosmos. Be the driver of your destiny. By the special grace of God Almighty, you get to your destination. Thank you so much. This one is from, still from Cosmos. Okay, we can hear you. Good. Thank you, Cosmos. Thank you for all of you that have joined us. I'm sure you have questions for Khady this afternoon. She is fully loaded and ready to take all your questions. So get ready with your pen and your paper and ask as many questions as you have. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are still talking about becoming who you are. And we have brought to you this afternoon Khady Gaye, a specialist in this sector or in this. She's a global citizen and a natural relationship builder. So this is your opportunity to ask as many questions as you have, in this journey of discovering who you are and your purpose in life. So, madam, your mantra, according to what we read from your profile, is inclusion is the solution to exclusion. That's interesting. So, what does it mean? Inclusion is the solution to exclusion. What does this mean?
Yeah. Um, as you mentioned earlier, I'm passionate about diversity and inclusion. It's part of who I am, it's part of my DNA. And for me, inclusion is the solution to exclusion. What it means is that inclusion starts with I. So again, it's this whole concept of knowing who you are, and inclusion starts with I. So if you know who you are, you will be able to invite and include everyone into your space. And the way that you are doing that is by showing who you are. It's being your authentic self. Your authentic self is showing up online, offline with your vulnerability, your failures. And I think we need to be cautious, certainly nowadays with social media. You put out there what you want to share with the world, right? But I always say that when you share, um, sharing is caring. And if you share, in my case, it's always with the intent to serve and support others. I wake up every morning asking myself, telling to myself that I need to earn my seat every day. And when I go to bed, I'm grateful and blessed that I'm healthy, I'm still alive, and I'm asking myself, what did I accomplish today for someone else? This is how I want to impact people. This is how I want to impact the world. So if we have this growth mindset where we think like, who can I support? Who can I serve? Who can I help? Having that inclusive mindset, I think we will be in a better place. I don't have to remind you about what's going on in the world. Um, the global pandemic last year and this year has only amplified things that were already happening. The world has been shaken upside down. George Floyd, I moved from Brussels to the US. So George Floyd is a thing in the US. And for many of us, we know a lot of George Floyd around the world. It didn't start with George Floyd, and we can only hope and have faith that at some point it will end. So when I say inclusion is a solution to exclusion, it's each of us, we have to do this homework in how we behave, how we interact with people. And it's about one shared humanity. We have to do that homework, and it starts with yourself. It is not a story or a situation of us versus them. It's all together that we should be part of the solution because we are the change, and it's about human being. We don't have to argue about humanity. Dignity and respect is, I think, the very essentials that anyone should have, regardless of age, gender, nationality, social status, sexual orientation, and any other type of dimension. I'm also thinking about people with disabilities, LGBTQ plus community, everyone. So inclusion is everyone. And I give a very concrete example. There is this statement from Verna Myers. She's a VP diversity Netflix. She says that diversity is being invited to a party, and inclusion is being asked to dance. Well, I would like to add to that if I'm invited to a party, I will feel included if the host knows who I am, which means that you are showing that level of interest and curiosity towards me that I feel at home. This is a big feeling of inclusion, ensuring that whatever buffet you have, because I have dietary restrictions, I will be able to eat. I will be able to talk to people without any fear. And when it comes to inclusion, nowadays we see more and more people before the COVID, of course, they were asking if they would, organize a party. They would ask like, "Hey, what is your favorite music?" Why do you think they ask that? Because they want you to be part of their party, to feel included and ensure that you go on the dance floor. Because I like to dance. I mean, if you put me on the dance floor, it's really difficult to get me out of the dance floor. But if you invite me into a party and you don't play any music that I like, I may have been invited, but I will not feel included. So you see the difference? And that's really important, that inclusion is the solution to exclusion, that wherever you feel included, you feel like home, everywhere with everyone. You don't have to think twice when you say things. You don't have to think twice on what you want to wear because people will not judge you. They will appreciate you for who you are, being seen, feeling heard, valued, and respected. This is why, for me, inclusion is the solution to exclusion. And I'm trying to illustrate that to the way I behave and interact with people every single day, because you know, It's you have to be very intentional in doing that, because we all have biases. But once you're aware of your biases, you can do something with it in a very conscious way. So this is my take on
Wonderful.
that.
Wonderful. When you say inclusion is the solution to exclusion, and you ask yourself every day, what have you done well and what did you not do well? And then you also go ahead to ask, who can I support? Who can I help? And so that means if everyone begins to ask the same questions, it means the world will be a better place for all of us. Am I correct? Very
Yes,
good. Very
yes.
good. Very good. Are you there? Oh, okay, good. Very good. Very good. I like that. When people feel they belong to a community or a society, they perform better. They perform better because they have opportunities, to express themselves and also maybe their talents and whatever they have. That is important, because by the time you begin to contribute, the society will be better. So this is important for everyone listening to us this afternoon. Inclusion is the solution to exclusion. Go
I mean,
ahead.
if I can give you another example, as we are still in this pandemic, I don't want to focus too much on that, but just think about the different countries that are successful in managing the crisis. Africa is definitely one of them. And you know why? You know the statement, this Ubuntu statement, I am because we are.
Hmm.
This is exactly what the African continent has done. It's getting together and supporting each other at local level, at regional level. Many of the scientists, journalists, and around the world, they predicted that the death cases, COVID-19 death cases ratio would be extremely high in Africa. To the contrary, it's exactly the opposite. And why? Because people were supporting each other. I am because we are. So this is extremely important. If you think about women, because I know that your program is for youth and empowering women. There was several articles out there that have ranked head of states of various countries. They are all women. I have nothing against men, but they are all women. And you know why? Because they are demonstrating certain skill set that has helped through the crisis. And what is that? It's effective communication. It's transparency. It's bringing people together. And as a leader, leading your leaders. So Angela Merkel in Germany, Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand, the lady from Taiwan, Finland, Norway, Denmark, all women. They were like, we are in this together. Let's resolve this together. So it couldn't be more important to understand how important to us that we should be united, uniquely unified,
Hmm.
because there are already so many things that divides us. So um, the more you are curious about people, the more you will realize that we have so much in common that we need to celebrate and embrace. And the less you will focus on what divides us.
Good. I think this is a message for Nigeria. This is a message for Nigeria, and I'm happy that most of the audience we have there, the people in the audience are from Nigeria. The earlier we begin to focus on the things that unite us, the better for us. Nigeria is going through a worst of cases because of the insecurity across the country. So, and that is being what do you call it, fueled by the hate and all of those speeches that, and the beating of drums for war and all of that, going the secessionist groups and all of that. So by the time we begin to feel for each other, and see everyone as we see ourselves. I'm sure all the banditry, all the violence, I don't think they will be there. So this is a takeaway for everyone listening to us from Nigeria and other parts of Africa that are in crisis. This is a message for you. So let's go to the comment section and see what people are saying. Oh, good. So many. Oh, wonderful. Okay, this one is from. Okay, this one is from interesting. Okay, from Grace. She said this is interesting. And then Heidi is here. Heidi Bishop. Okay. Oh, Heidi Bishop Madu, my advisor, is here. I love to dance. Oh, good. You know, inclusion was invited to a party, and the diversity was asked to come and dance. Was that what he said?
It was the other way around. So diversity is being invited to a party, and inclusion is being asked to dance. And I was adding to that if you play the music that I like, I will not only feel included, but I will feel like I will have that sense of belonging, and I will feel like at home, and you will see me dancing like crazy.
like African dance. Good. Okay, this is also from Haiti. This is my girl. Oh, be like Haiti. Hashtag be like Khady Gaye. Okay, inclusion is a solution to exclusion. Yeah, my girl. Who can I support? Very good. I think so many people are there waiting to answer you. Who can she support? So whether you raise your hands, Haiti is here to support. Who can I help? Who can I help? She's asking all of this. Okay, this is the mantra that my girls around the world live by. Very good. Inclusion is a solution to exclusion. Global change agents. Thank you so much, Haiti. Thank you. Oh, so true. So true, Remy. This man knows what he's talking about. Okay.
And
so many.
Remy, I just wanted to add, I was talking about women, and nowadays, a woman supporting another woman, it's really, it amplifies, it's really empowerment. But in women, we also have men. So don't understand me wrong. We need men. They need to be our allies, because a man, you know, is the father maybe of a girl, or maybe has a sister, or is surrounded by females. So I think it's important to include men in that conversation, because otherwise we won't be in that transformational path. Things will not change if you exclude people. If it's when you include people that potentially we are going into the direction of change. So for our audience here, I just want to say I have nothing against men. To the contrary, they are really very supportive, and I call them the men ambassadors. We need them. We need you as men ambassadors, as allies, in order to change things.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, the lady leaders are inclusive. Oh, yeah, wow. I think women have been adjudged to be better administrators than men. I mean, better leaders too than men. Okay, so she said, we still love our men, however, so don't worry. Boy, come on now, what's the press us? Okay, good. Oh, so many. Okay.
Haiti is on fire.
Okay, I want to dance with you, Remy and Khady. Whoa, wonderful. Where are you?
I can't wait. We will schedule that.
Good. So, Sumaya, good. We are here. Eddie, I'm here to help. Okay, good. So, Heidi is saying I'm here to help and support. Indeed, we have to live this way. Be the change you wish to see in others. Correct. Very fantastic. Okay. Okay. So, Heidi is also asking to you put your hands up, man ambassadors. Okay, good. So let's go back to the discussion. It's really interesting to know that what you're talking about are facts of the matter, and they are important issues that people should begin to consider. if they really want change in their communities. Okay, as a citizen of the world, you've been around the world. You've been to Europe, Africa. You're from here. You've been to USA. You've been to Middle East. A whole lot of other places. So, as a citizen of the world, how do you cultivate your African culture? How do you still let them know you are proud of your culture and you are from Africa? So, tell us.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. As I said earlier, if you know who you are, if you know your identity, this is the key and opening so many doors. In my case, as you mentioned in the introduction, I'm born in Belgium, in a small city called Ghent. And I quickly realized that my passport or my identity card are not determining who I am. And through my different jobs, I was able to travel around the world. And I always put people first. I have a true passion for people. So wherever I was traveling to, you have travel and travel. In my case, when I was traveling, it was because I wanted to be connected with people. I wanted to understand different cultures, be on the field, being able to support in a very effective way. So along the way, I learned different languages. And, being a woman and being Black, this has really served me to remove a lot of barriers along the way. I have used my communication skills as an icebreaker. So that's number one. And you know, being curious about people, as I said earlier, helps you to remove any potential fear or ignorance for the unknown. And if I take the example of when I was younger, as I said, I was born and raised in Ghent, which at that time in the 70s was not very multicultural. I was the first only different in many occasions, and in various locations. And naturally, I was always seeking for someone like me, and there was no one like me. So I had to realize very quickly that instead of trying to find someone like me, I had to develop that skill set of being curious about people, kind of understand also why they would interact or behave a certain way, because I was different. And one thing I decided very young, during my childhood, is that I would never, ever wear the sorry hat because of the color of my skin. So that's how I have developed that cultural um, sensitivity, that cultural awareness, but also that cultural humility to respect someone else's culture. Because if I take the example of family and friends, in many situations, if you have like, let's say, mixed couples, what happens if you don't know who you are? At certain point, what will happen? And I'm not making a generality. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that this is the case for every in any situation. I'm just giving an example here. Uh, in my case, after more than 20 years, I have seen many situations where you have like mixed couples that were trying to get to know each other. And at a certain point, for whatever reason, one decided to compromise on his or her culture roots. And that's where you have potentially that issue that you get disconnected because you are not your true self. And you were asking, how do I keep my African culture? And if you would ask my cousins, they would say, oh, she's not African, she's European. And that's where I say that I consider myself as a citizen of the world, and I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of my African roots. The way that I have cultivated my African roots was by being curious about the culture, about the music, whatever it was. There was something that kept me connected with Africa, and I was going on vacation to Africa as well. And that's where people were realizing that actually I was not different than them. Of course, they would judge me saying, oh, she's coming from Europe. But as soon as I arrived in Africa, they could clearly see that I was just as normal as they are, a human being. So I think we should stop judging people and just accepting and appreciating who we are. So I have two daughters, 16 years and 22 years old. And I have learned them to be proud of who they are, knowing where they are coming from. And every year they would go 2 months generally to Senegal on vacation, but not on vacation to play the tourist, on vacation to know what it means to live in Africa and seeing the differences between Europe and Africa. And hopefully, time will tell. I hope that they have benefited from it much more than I did, because I was the eldest of five, so we didn't have the opportunity to travel every year or go on vacation every year. So that's how I have continue building my African culture, if I could describe it this way. And sometimes I don't know how to describe that, but I do say that if you mess with me, wow, my African attitude is coming. I can tell you what that means. God knows.
Oh, okay, so what I've learned from you in this particular discussion is that your identity is important. Your identity, who you are, is important. It's a pity that some people, when they leave the shores of Africa, they change automatically and become Europeans, become Americans, and all of that, and they forget their roots. So what you just told us now is that your identity is important. It also helps you become who you are. Who you are. That is the basic thing that we are talking about. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being part of the show. We are still discussing becoming who you are, and our guest is Khady Gaye. Khady Gaye, a citizen of the world, and a woman on a mission to change the lives of other people, especially those who come close to her, like she's doing to me and to other people that are here listening to us this afternoon. So let's go to the comment section and see what people are saying. Okay, here again I have Heidy is still around. You had it here first from Khady, a 24-hour dance-a-thon, raising money leaders around Africa. Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development. Who is in it? Who is in? Who is in? Who is in? Who is in? Okay, great question, Remy. Good. So I have Heidy. If you know who you are, this is the key to opening so many doors. Don't be afraid to become who you are. Oh, good. Leslie is here. Leslie Benelli. That's a friend to Heidy, and she was one of the co-facilitators of the executive master classes that benefited over 40 young people from Nigeria. Welcome, Leslie. We appreciate you. Thank you. This is definitely going to be good. I will have to watch this later. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, good. I totally agree with you, Khady. Good, fine, fantastic. Thank you, Leslie. We love you. We are happy that you are here. Man, I burned up the chat so much, my computer shut me down. Nothing can hold me down. Though I am back on the phone. Heidy, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Heidy. Thank you for the energy. Thank you for the love for our people. Okay, so the discussion continues. And now let's go to something that is very important. You know, at Ugwumba Leadership Center, we do a lot of mentoring, and we have some role models, you know, that guide and, you know, train our young people and the women. So talking about mentoring and role modeling. Good. So why is it important, you know, for someone to have a mentor or a role model in life? Why is it important?
Um, Let me maybe start with the role model. I think that's important. If I take my personal situation, for many years my role model was my father, and that changed over the years. My role model became my mother, because I shifted from a judging place into a more appreciative space. So, because a role model is not necessarily someone that looks like you, but it's someone that is demonstrating either a behavior, or is inspiring you, that you really admire that person and you would like to become that person. So in my case, my mother is demonstrating skill sets such as authenticity, audacity, compassion, kindness, politeness, integrity. So I think it's important to have a role model. Um, just look around. I said earlier, you can't be what you can't see. And if I have to make my own assessment throughout the years, for many years I did hold myself in not moving forward. I was hiding myself. I would typically describe myself as a behind the scenes person, and this is not benefiting anyone, me including myself. So it's really important to have role models that will help you and support you in your journey. When it comes to mentors, as I said earlier, I am because we are. We are in a world where you need someone else to either help you, to support you throughout your journey. On your own, you will not get to your destination. Uh, you may know this statement that says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. This is exactly what I've experienced with the different mentors. I had informal mentors and I have formal mentors. If I have to make some specific um, very important decisions in my life, being work related, or at personal level, I give them a call, because we have built that relationship that is based on trust, that those mentors, they have become my friends now. So and they are also the right person that will let you know if you are not going in the right direction. They are not afraid of giving you honest, candid feedback. And that's what we need. Surround by yourself by people that will lift you up. So that's important. So role models and mentors are important, being at personal level or professional, both. And sometimes it's a combination of both.
Okay, thank you. I'm happy when you said you can become what you cannot see. You cannot become what you cannot see. That is really, that is both spiritual and physical. You know, because you know, the Holy Bible teaches that if you want, if that is what we call faith. If you are waiting and praying for something, you should begin to see it with your the mind of the spirit. Good, good. So you can become what you cannot see. You know, so that's why you know, it's important. You know, you have goals, you have targets, and you also look up to people as mentors and role models, so that they can guide you honestly, you know, and shape you, you know, as you navigate your life. Wonderful. So now I want to take you on to something that is really very, people are usually, for sake of being humble, they don't blow their trumpets. And then we also say, you don't have to blow your trumpet, maybe to show that you are humble. So why is this so? If we are talking about becoming who you are, and let's assume you are very beautiful or you are very intelligent, and because of humility, when someone says, oh, this is fantastic, you say, oh, don't mind, it's just a little thing that I was able to do. You don't accept it because you think when you say that, it's like you are, blowing your trumpet. So what do you have to say, and why are people usually advised not to blow their trumpet? So that's what I'm just trying to talk about, say now.
Um, I think particularly for Africans, we don't have that tradition of using the trumpet. I said earlier, I have described myself for many years as a person behind the scenes. We are not doing any service to anyone because there are so many talents out there that just need to shine. We have to unleash our potential and make ourselves more visible. And I think when it comes to using that trumpet, it has nothing to do with showing off. It has to do with showing up. If you are showing up in a consistent way because you have something to say, you have a message to spread um, to the universe, that's important. You have to go for it. Nothing should stop you because that's who you are. It's about your passion. And I always say, I do not promise, I prove. So my actions are speaking for me. If I take my personal example, a couple of years, as I said, you have to do that homework, that self investment. When I did that transformational coaching, I started posting on social media. And I remember the first time I did it, it took me 10 minutes before pushing on the send button. I was so afraid uh, because I was thinking, okay, who's going to read it? What type of feedback am I going to get? If I get negative feedback, how I'm going to handle it? And you know what? As soon as I pushed on the send button, I felt just more comfortable. And I'm doing it each time more and better. And you know why? Because I have a purpose. And also because I know that I can impact someone's life. By sharing my story, I permit someone else to either have hope, faith. I can either inspire someone, influence someone, or impact someone. So this is why it's important. And there are many people out there. We all have our story. Passionate people, you find them everywhere in the world. But when you combine passion with dedication and commitment, it becomes so much more powerful. And we need to hear those stories because that's how we can resonate and become more human, become more united.
Okay, thank you. Now,
I'm not
you.
hearing you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I wish I
Okay,
could do
okay,
lip serving, but I'm
okay,
learning
don't.
signing language. So
Okay, okay. Good. Are you there? Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been really interesting and highly educative on the show this afternoon. So, if you want to follow Khady on social media, please quickly go to Okay, you can see what is scrolling on the screen on LinkedIn. She is at www.linkedin.com/in/Khady, Khady Gaye. That's her page on LinkedIn. You can connect with her. On Twitter, just use at 10K Gaye, Gaye. On Twitter, at 10K Gaye, Gawe. Then on Facebook, you can connect with her using at Khady, Khady dot Gaye, Gaye dot so 09. On Facebook at Khady, Khady dot Gaye dot SOW, then 09. On Instagram, connect with her using at KHADYGAYE dot SOW. That is the links on social media where you can connect with our speaker this afternoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are still talking about how to become who you truly are. And our guest has been Khady Gaye. Khady Gaye, a global citizen, who has been to Europe, to Africa, to Middle East, Asia, and around the world. And we are discussing how she is building relationships and also involving inclusion in all her leadership roles around the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the show, and we are reaching you from Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa. And to connect with us, go to our website at ugwumbaleaders.org, ugwumbaleaders.org. That is UGWUMBA leaders.org. That's our website. To connect with us on Facebook, go to facebook.com/Ugwumba leaders, facebook.com/Ugwumba leaders. On LinkedIn, go to linkedin.com/company/Ugwumba leaders. That's how you can connect with us and get to know more about what we are doing, and also receive regular updates about our future speakers on the show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. By the way, she is being described around the world as a natural relationship builder. Natural relationship builder. So, what does this imply? A natural relationship builder. What does it mean?
As I said, when you put people first, you have to demonstrate certain skill set. I mentioned it earlier. It's about curiosity. It's about integrity, dignity, and respect. And throughout my career, the feedback that was consistent that I received was that I was a natural relationship builder, and that people easily were trusting me. And why is that? It's because I'm showing interest into people. I'm actively listening, and I really listened to the advice of my grandmother, which was, you observe what's happening around the world, you listen to what's happening. And listening, it's active listening. It's not listening with the intent to reply, but it's listening with the intent to understand. That's so important, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm listening to you, but they are not. So really active listening. Even silence is important in a conversation. And having that level of discretion where people feel comfortable in trusting you. So I have that ability and agility to create that safe space where people will open up, they will speak up, and they will generally share some very uncomfortable situations. I have that ability to push on the right buttons so that they open up, creating that safe space so that I can support them better. So that's where I say that I'm a natural relationship builder. To give you another example, with social media, particularly now that we are in this exaggerated virtual environment. Everything is happening online. You get so many. You get solicited by so many people. Um, LinkedIn connections. When I get an invite from someone, I want to understand why this person sent me the invite. So even if it takes time, I will generally, reply back, responding, thanking that person for the invite I received, and asking, can we have a chat? Can we catch up? Even if it's only 15 minutes or half an hour, so that I can understand, like, what is it that, why is it that this person did send me an invite? And can I mean something for that person? Where is that mutual value for each other? So that's one way of doing it. And also, you know, um, I'm pretty good at networking, and you will not believe it, but I consider myself as an introvert person. And the way that I feel comfortable now in networking is really started at a young age, where I said that I was the first only different. So wherever I would go, I would seek for someone that I knew so that I could feel more comfortable. And there was not that person. So I really had to open up and have that open mindset to reach out to people. So before the COVID, when we had like network events, I would enter into a room and I would meet and greet everyone. And the more you network, of course, the more you start building connections. And if I would meet people that I knew from before, I would tell them at the beginning, I'm going to meet you at the end. And my focus was getting to know new people, new persons. So that's how I was. That's how I network. I feel I put myself as a as a host. And when you are a host, what do? You welcome people. You give your hospitality to people. And this helps to connect with people. So this is how I do it.
Okay, that's interesting. But on the contrary, people shy away from doing that. Just like you say, if you get into a room, maybe a party or a meeting, you start greeting all the people you see there. Some people find it difficult to accept that as a way of life or something that is necessary or important. So, what can you say? What is their problem?
You know, we have as many different people as we have people in the world. So if you are encountering that level of, I would say, difficulty where you're not able to have that icebreaker, that's okay. There might be a reason for that. And maybe the next time this person will open up. And if not, that's fine too. You just have to respect it. You cannot be friend with everyone. That's okay too. So choose your battles, I would say.
Okay. So let me ask you now. You've been around the world working with different kinds of people from different cultures and different backgrounds. So, what experiences can you share with us? Working with people from diverse cultures around the world.
Can you repeat your question? Sorry.
I said you have been around the world, working with different people from different cultures and different backgrounds. So, what are your experiences working with these people?
Um, my experience generally has been positive. I'm a positive person. I don't want to, neglect the less positive experiences that I had, because I had some negative experiences and some hardships along the way. Let's be clear on that too. But for today, I really want to focus on, um, when you're working with people from different backgrounds, from different ethnicity and race, from different walk of lives, really everyone, it has helped me to become the person that I am today. I'm a better person because each and every one that I interact with, because I'm learning from and with them. And if you do that in an authentic, meaningful way, you can only be a better person.
Hmm. Fantastic, fantastic. Oh, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to the comment section. Okay, this one is from Heidi again. You can be what you can see. Hope you all are taking notes. Fantastic, fantastic. Then again, she's saying those people will give you feedback with care plus candor. Okay, okay, yeah. And again, this one is we are not everyone's cup of tea indeed. I think that's definitely resonate with what she said. Okay. Oh, Melissa is here. Melissa Diano is here. So agreed with you, Khady. Thanks for sharing. Welcome, Melissa. It's nice to see you on the show. Thank you. You promised that you were going to be here, and you are here. Melissa, we thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Khady, that's your friend, right?
Yes. Thank you, Melissa.
Okay, okay. She's the one that said we are not everyone's cup of tea. Okay, definitely. Okay, Melissa, welcome, welcome. Hello, Mr. Remy. Thank you for being part of the show. We are happy to have you on the show this afternoon. Okay, so back to the discussion, and it is almost time to let you go. Diversity and inclusion are in your DNA. Diversity and inclusion are in your DNA. So, how are they helping you succeed in your career?
um, well, I think I'm a successful person because I do embrace my difference. Um, I never wanted to be put in a box, as we say, fit. I didn't want to fit in. I consider myself as a positive disruptor. I got rid of the box many years ago. So having that ability and agility to be who I need to be, treating people with dignity and respect, with empathy, showing my vulnerability, um, accepting and appreciating my imperfections and my qualities. Um, so yeah, this has helped me to be successful, and really having that growth mindset, um, or that attitude of can do, will do, and never ever give up. As soon as someone told me you will not succeed, I was even more strengthened to prove the contrary. So, as I said earlier, I prove, I do not promise. And I will give you an example of that. Um, when I was 9 years old, you go to school to get educated. You don't go to school to be beaten by your teacher. And at that time, that situation could have either destroyed me for my whole life, and I decided that I would not wear the sorry hat. And I would, as I say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I decided at 9 years old that not only would I not wear the sorry hat, but I would get the highest educational degree that I could get because of that teacher, or thanks to that teacher, I should say. He was literally telling me, looking me in the eyes, oh, but with the color of your skin, you don't feel the pain. So he would use a metal roulette and beating me every single time. If something would happen in the classroom, I would be the one to come up front, and he would do that in front of all my classmates. And I made it a point to not cry in front of my classmates. That's where I did develop that skill set of resilience, and also that skill set that nobody can feel you more inferior without your consent.
Hmm. Hmm. Fantastic. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Mm, fantastic. So yeah, you give your consent before you begin to feel inferior to the other one. Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm sure that that made you grow tough skin and just like you said, become more resilient and started working harder than you were doing to get to where you are today. And I'm sure that that teacher maybe must have heard about you and where you are. Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and you know that situation at that age, you don't know how to react, right? You can go through a roller coaster of emotions. It can be you can you can feel angry, you can feel pain. There is this process of healing, and I think one thing that has really saved me, and that's also the reason why I'm successful today in whatever I do, is that I do not judge people. I
Mm,
do not judge people, and no assumptions. I don't know
mm,
what was in the head of this guy when he did that, and potentially maybe I don't care, but I did not judge him. I was trying to understand, why do someone behave the way he behaves? But I was trying to question the situation, not from a place of judgment, but from a place of understanding. Because the more we educate people, and if you combine education with training, the more we will increase the knowledge of people on how to deal with certain situation. Because we all start from a place of unknown, fear, or ignorance. But if you educate yourself, you can understand things and act and behave differently. Having been in HR for more than 20 years, I do not have a magic wand to change people. But what I know is that I can influence, impact people, and potentially they can change their behavior.
mm. That's good. That's good. Thank you so much. This is from Haiti again, Melissa Adiano, the champ. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Melissa says, I'm glad I'm here. I've watched first on YouTube. Okay, very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming very close to the end of the show this afternoon, and I'm sure you have benefited and learned so much from Khady. She's been talking and sharing her experiences sincerely from her heart. How she has been, running and then leading other people in her role as an HR leader in her different organizations that she's been in. So I'm sure that you have learned so much, that will guide you in rediscovering yourself, to become better at what you are doing and become better who you are, so that you can become better, just like I said before. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is 1 hour 17 minutes. We've been talking with Khady this afternoon, and I can't continue to keep her because she's a busy woman. So, but finally, before you go, I want to ask you: you are a woman on a mission to make a difference in the lives of people. Good. So, how can this apply to our youths and women here in Africa, here in Nigeria?
Yeah. My advice to the current and the next generation, um, I will summarize it as follows. One, never give up. That's my advice. Number one. Number two, if someone tells you it's impossible, in impossible there is possible. And the third is, don't blame others, blame yourself. You have to do the work. It starts with yourself. You have to do the hard work. Don't wait for someone else. You have to do the hard work. If you want to be on the driver's seat of your life, you have to do the work. Keep control, keep focus on what you do control. Surround yourself by people that will lift you up, and you're not alone in your journey. Um, we are in a generation where women are supporting women, and we get the support of men too. For many years, for decades, women were competing against each other. Now we are already in a better place. So I'm confident that the current and the next generation, the path will be much more different for all of you. If I take the example of my daughters, they are 16 and 22 years old. There are young ladies that are getting empowered. Wow, they know what they want. They also know what they don't want. I wish I was more assertive at their age. It would have helped me. But, one step at a time.
Okay, good. I'm sure you're proud of your daughters. You mentioned them, once. Anytime there's something to talk about, you go back to mention them. I think that's a good way of appreciating your children. Okay, this one is from, let's go to comment section before I let you go. This one is from Melissa, powerful Khady, embracing who we truly are from a child perspective with the wisdom of a wise woman guided by God. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you,
Yeah.
Melissa. Then again, I have Heidi. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. John Maxwell. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. John Maxwell. Thank you, Heidi, for being part of the show. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for everyone that has been part of the show. And to my guests, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. Khady Gaye. I can't thank you enough for obliging us the opportunity to have you on the show this afternoon. It's been really wonderful and amazing. So on behalf of my boss, Ugwumba Uchewosu, and the team here at the Ugwumba Leadership Center, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. Do you have anything to say again before I let you go?
Well, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity, the platform, and making the time to listen to what I had to say. So blessed, grateful, and thank you. Thank you, everyone who joined. Thank you, Heidi, Melissa, and Amina. Everyone, it's how we are interconnected. This is the result today. So thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And that is how we're going to call it a day this afternoon. I don't want to go, but we have to go. We have to go. Thank you so much, madam, for being part of the show. And I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, you will join us next week as we bring you another wonderful guest that will do justice to whatever we are going to discuss, just like Khady has done this afternoon. So at this juncture, I want to thank you and say goodbye